Okay, so today I'm going to show you how you can do a project with either the Cricut Joy or Cricut Joy Xtra. So let me get to the computer and we'll start there. Okay, so I'm in Cricut Design Space and I'm going to go quickly over what I did to get started. So I inserted a shape. This is a circle, and the surface that I'm trying to cut is 4 inches, but I want it slightly smaller, so I did 3.95. So that's the width of the size of this circle. And then I did a search in Cricut Design Space for some Christmas images, and I found these cute phrases. And so what I needed to do is make sure that this image was a welded image. It actually wasn't at first, so all I did was select it, and I selected the thing here that says combine, and then I clicked weld. And so now I have a welded object. And so now what I'm doing is I'm centering this on top of the circle. I'm going to select it. And then I'm going to go over to, I don't know if you can see it here, I'm trying to get my camera in here, align and center. That'll automatically will center and align the wording into the circle. And then once I have that centered, I go to slice, and this will now cut out. I delete this top part, and I delete this part. Now I have the phrase cut out from the circle. And that's what I want for this project. Okay, so I actually have 6 of these that I'm going to be cutting out, and I'm actually going to change this over to my Cricut Joy Xtra, and let's see what it looks like. I'm going to be cutting on a mat, and I don't know if you can see that clearly, getting some glare from the lighting, apologize. So you can see that 4 of them fit on one sheet, and then 2 are going to fit on the other. I'm just going to cut those other 2 with my Joy, so I'm only going to click 4 of them for now. So I'm going to go back here and make some adjustments. I'm going to hide these 2, and then I'll cut 4 on my Cricut Joy Xtra, and then 2 on my Cricut Joy, just so you can see how I do that. So then I'm going to click Make It, again on the mat, confirm. Now I have 4 on one. Okay, so I selected Everyday Iron-On because we're going to actually do HTV. And we need to make sure that we have the mirror on. I'm going to click done. And then we're going to go ahead and send it to the machine. Okay, I'm using HTV for this project. I'm using this buffalo plaid print. It's actually HTV from HTV Ront. So what we'll do is we put this with the shiny side or print side down. Here's the mat for the Cricut Joy Xtra. And then we do the same for the Cricut Joy. So unlike the other Cricut machines, in order to insert your mat, you're just going to place it underneath here, and it grabs it. It detects the mat and it'll grab it. It'll measure it, and then it'll start cutting once you say cut on the screen. Okay, once it's loaded properly, you click go back in Cricut Design Space, and it'll start cutting. Okay, to unload it, you just click the unload in Cricut Design Space. And so now we're going to move over to the Cricut Joy. So what I did is I unhid those 2 that I hid earlier, and I hid the other 4, and I changed my machine from the Joy Xtra to the Joy. We're going to follow the same steps. Click Make It. Make sure you have your mirror on. Continue. Make sure your machine is detected. I had to go back and fix it. We're going to be on the mat, and I'm going to be using a longer mat. That way both of them fit. Try this again, and I'll select Everyday Iron here and make sure we're mirrored. Everyday Iron-On, mirrored is on, and then we'll go from here. So the same as the Joy Xtra, you just put your mat and it detects it. You wait for it to measure your material, and then when it's done, you click go on Cricut Design Space, and then it does its thing. Okay, while that one is cutting, what I did is I removed the HTV from the mat. I trimmed it down so that I can eliminate waste, and now we can weed. So I just start in a corner, and pull it up, and then just peel it back. There's the border or the background. Now we're going to weed the phrases. And I'll just keep doing this. So I went and got my bright pad because it's a little difficult for me to see the cuts with the pattern paper. And if you just kind of fold it a little bit, you can see where the light's shining through there. Then I can actually find each piece that I need to weed. Okay, there's one. Now this is the vinyl that we cut with the Cricut Joy. It's going to be the same process. It's no different. Okay, and there's the other one. Okay, so I'm going to apply these to these coasters. They're not coated or anything. They're just ceramic coasters for crafting. And I'm going to try HTV on them. I don't think I've done that before. I've done regular vinyl, and you can do the exact same thing, same project we did with regular adhesive vinyl. You just wouldn't mirror your images. But I'm going to try this with HTV. And we'll put a little Teflon sheet on top, just because. Make sure I have that centered. And the reason why I did 3.92 instead of the 4 is because I wanted to make sure I didn't go straight to the edge, just in case it wasn't a perfect circle. So go ahead and put this on top. I'll be using this HTV Ront mini press. This is the Cricut one. I like to use this one when I have a slightly larger project size, so I'm going to use this one today. They work the same, 3 settings. I'm going to put it on high, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm just going to apply even pressure, and I'm going to make sure I get the edges. Just check it, make sure everything looks okay, nothing's moved, until it seems like it's on there pretty good. Nothing's lifting. And this is a cool peel, so we want to make sure this is entirely cold before we peel it, and that's going to be a little bit because the ceramic conducts heat, so this is pretty warm to the touch. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my glass over here, and that'll help cool it down. And the key to removing the carrier sheet is to just go slow. If anything looks like it's going to peel up, don't worry about it. Just remove it from the carrier sheet, because the carrier sheet's pretty sticky. This is a pretty sticky carrier sheet for an HTV. But just go slow, and if anything's lifting like that, we're going to go over it with the iron again, or the easy press and the Teflon sheet, so it'll tack it down. So just carefully remove the carrier sheet. You'll see that this little piece here came up, but what we're going to do is just going to get the Teflon sheet, get that as flat as possible. Get it to where it's supposed to be, and get the heat press, and just tack it real quick. There. So anything like that, or just go back and make sure it's securely on there. This one came out pretty good. Just a minor scratch. That's just from when I was doing something. I don't know what happened, but got a little bit of a scratch there. They're not perfect, but you get the idea. And that's it. So these are HTV on top of ceramic. You can do this with any type of HTV. I just used this pattern one. It worked pretty well. It was a little hard to get the carrier sheet off because the carrier sheet was super sticky. But with a little patience and some motivation, I was able to get it out. So these came out pretty cute. I'm pretty happy with them. You can seal them with some epoxy or Mod Podge, or I think I'm just going to go ahead and spray it with a matte sealer or maybe a glossy sealer since these are kind of glossy as it is. But other than that, you can also try them just as is. So if you like this project, make sure you like and follow for more. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment them below. Thanks for watching.